What's up, guys? You're listening to the MFCEO Project. I'm Andy. I'm your host, and I am the motherfucking CEO. Guys, as you know, we've taken a few weeks off. It's been a busy time of year for me. I had, priorities here at work and in my actual companies that I actually run. Believe it or not, I don't just post shit on Instagram and motivational shit and then claim to be an entrepreneur. I actually am an entrepreneur. And the goal here, guys, is to help you become the entrepreneur of you, to help you become the motherfucking CEO of your life. All right? That's why we started this. That's why it's called a project. I'm here to help you learn the skills that you are going to need to know and master to become great at any area of your life. All right? We kind of ride that fine line of business and also personal development. And those things go hand in hand, which is actually what I want to talk to you about today, okay? I know it's Thursday Thunder. I know it's usually just straight motivation today, but I want to talk to you about a very, very, very important skill and the reality of learning that skill, okay? The skill I'm going to talk to you about, guys, is the difference between being an average person who makes between $40,000 and $80,000 a year, and then moving from that earning bracket to the six-figure earning bracket or seven-figure earning bracket or beyond. Okay? When you develop this skill, you are essentially creating something within yourself that is going to allow you to progress. It's very, very difficult. I would say it's the hardest skill to learn. I would say it's also the skill that's going to take the longest to learn. All right? And that skill that I'm talking about right now, guys, is leadership. That skill is the management of other people. Okay? You could go out and you can run a business and you can have a storefront and you can, maybe earn $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 a year by yourself. You're going to work like a fucking dog, but you could probably do it. Okay? You could do that on the internet. You could go out and you could figure out how to, sell some products online, do some Amazon stores, do some eBay stores, do some different things. You could create a company and you can make, high sub $100,000 a year. But guys, that's not a lot of money, okay? It's just not. You guys might think it is because you're not earning it right now, but I promise you, you are going to spend at whatever level you earn at. And when you get to 100, you're going to feel just as broke as you feel now when you're not making anything because you're going to spend the money on dumb shit. That's just the reality. Very few people understand how to manage money. But that is a different subject. The subject that we're going to talk about right now, guys, is how to become a leader and how to become an effective manager of people, okay? We've talked about this at length on previous podcasts, but I just want to give you a short realization of why this skill is so rare and why it's so important, okay? Guys, to be a great leader, to be a great manager of people, it starts with you. You have to execute at 100% levels all the time. Your people, the people who you have underneath you that are helping you scale and grow your business, they are going to judge you on your weakest moment. They aren't going to judge you on the 98 times you did something perfect. They're going to judge you on the 2 times you took the play off. They're going to look at that 2 times they took the play off and they're going to say, well, that's the level I need to execute at. And so the level of execution is going to naturally dilute because they're going to judge you on what your weakest moment is. All right? Guys, being a great leader starts with setting an example. Vince Lombardi said it best. I can't say it any better. Nobody else can say it any better. He said, leading by example isn't the best way to lead. It's the only way to lead. And that is the truth. Okay, so you have to start with yourself. If you want to become a great leader, if you want to become a great manager of people, it's not about sitting behind your desk with your feet up, pointing fingers, telling people how shit should be done. It's about getting off your ass and showing people how it's done. There's a big difference, because when you show people how it's done and you show people how to do it consistently and effectively over the course of time, they will naturally rise to that level. They will also respect the shit out of you because they understand that you know what it takes. But I see far too many people out there, guys, looking at leadership as if it's some sort of thing that is optional. And I guess it is optional if you want to be broke your whole life and feel like shit and not move up in your company. But when you are within an organization and you want to set yourself apart from everybody else, becoming a great leader and great manager of people is the number one skill that can set you above and have you earning more money the quicker that you master it. Now, how do you master it? Well, the best way to master leadership, guys, and becoming a great manager of people is by doing it. All right. So you might not have anybody behind you right now. You might not have anybody to manage right now. You might be on the same level as everybody else. You might the bottom level. That doesn't mean you can't be a leader. You don't have to have permission to be a leader or a manager. You just have to take control. You have to be the person who comes in, who rises above everybody else's bullshit, who sets the standard for performance and shows every single person in the organization how much further you're willing to go to contribute to doing excellent at everything that you do. Nobody does that. It's super rare and it's super valuable. But the reality is most people won't put the effort in. They'll do what they did in high school and junior high and grade school. You know, when they want to sit with the cool kids in the back of the class because, you know, it's cool, instead of actually learning what needs to happen or getting up in front of the class and showing them how to do the math problem or leading by, you know, getting smarter and getting good grades. They want to sit with the cool kids. And that's why most of the cool kids end up being pieces of shit their whole life. Think about that. This is not something that you can passively think about. It's something that you need to take absolute control over. You need to go to Amazon. You need to buy every fucking leadership book that you can. You need to read every single management book that you can. You need to take notes on all those books, and you need to take control of the situation you are in right now. You might have 10 other people that are on your level. That doesn't mean you can't be the leader. We all know people who walk in and are natural leaders. Why are they natural leaders? Because they don't give a fuck what anybody else thinks. And they come in and they do their shit and they do it better than everybody else. And everybody else says, yeah, that's the guy. And guess what the guy gets? He gets opportunity. He gets bigger paycheck. He gets to move up. He gets to build a career. He gets a better car. He gets a better house. He gets a better fucking life than everybody else. And that all starts with learning how to be a leader and learning how to be a great manager of people. But guys, this is not a skill that anybody's going to come teach you. This is not a skill that anybody has the time to come teach you. I don't have the time to sit with my employees and go through step by step by step by step by step on how to become an awesome manager of people. I just don't. It's up to you to take responsibility for your own personal development, to go out there and do the homework, to become a fucking expert on the subject. And guys, when I say go to Amazon and read every fucking book, don't email me and say, what books do you recommend? I just told you, read every fucking book. Get all the books that you can afford on leadership and all the books that you can afford on management. And even if you can't afford them, put them on your fucking credit card and then read the motherfuckers. Because you know what? That credit card debt will pay off tenfold the quicker you master that skill. You know what? Put yourself in debt to learn this skill because it creates leverage on you to actually follow through. I can't stress this enough, guys. Everybody is always emailing me, asking me the same shit. How do I stand out? What's the biggest thing I need to concentrate on? Is it learning this, or is it learning that, or is it learning this? I'm giving you the answer right now. learn to be a fucking great manager, learn to be a great leader. And if you do those two things and you concentrate on those two things and you take responsibility for becoming a fucking expert at those two things, you will write your own checks for the rest of your life. And that's even if you're in an organization. If you have somebody who is an awesome leader, who is an awesome manager of people, and they come to you and they are your best fucking person, and they come to you and they say, hey, Andy, you know what? I need to get paid more, man. I got this coming up. I got that coming up. I've been working as hard as I can. You know that. I did this, and this. You know, I feel like I'm contributing here, and here. Let's figure out something here on the compensation side. You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say, absolutely, brother. Let's fucking talk about that. Because I can't lose that guy. He's a true asset to the company. He's somebody that I cannot afford to lose. And too many of you guys who are in an employment situation don't understand that you are the one that's actually in control of your compensation, not your company. You are the one that has to go around and try to figure out how to stand out, how to contribute, how to add value. You are the person who has to take responsibility for doing that. And then you leverage the company against those skills. You don't wait. You don't put in your 20 years or your 10 years or your 15 years or whatever you think it is. You go out and you become great at leading and managing people, and whatever skills you develop. And like I know a lot of you guys right now, you're saying, well, I don't want to be a manager of people. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't learn how to effectively manage people, your income will always be limited. And it will likely be limited between the $40,000 and $60,000 range forever. So if you don't want to learn those skills, expect to make that the rest of your life. Even in high-paying sales jobs, it's not one guy who's selling. It's one guy who's selling and training other people to go sell on his behalf. Whatever excuse you think it is, whatever thing you're coming up with in your brain to say, well, I don't need to learn that skill, you're fucking wrong. You need to learn the skill. You need to become a master at it. And if you become a master of it, you will write your own checks. I guarantee it. But guys, nobody's going to teach it to you. Nobody's going to come to you and say, hey, let me sit down with you for 200 hours and go through all the shit that I know about leadership and management. You're going to have to take it upon yourself. And a lot of you guys are thinking, well, I'm not a natural born leader. Well, good. Neither was I. I wasn't either. I wasn't always the captain of my fucking sports teams. I wasn't always the leader. I wasn't always the guy that got up and said, hey, we need to do this, this, and this, and this. I learned that shit. I'm an introvert, believe it or not. I don't like fucking talking in front of people, believe it or not. Those are skills I had to learn. Those are things that, dude, I got a D in public speaking in college. I wasn't naturally a good speaker. I wasn't just, put up on stage with the biggest names in the fucking world one day because I was, I practiced that shit. I learned that shit. I read about that shit. I educated myself on that shit. And guys, the great thing about right now is that we've never had more time and more ability to educate ourselves on the skills that actually matter. A management course in business is fucking bullshit in college. Okay, but you can go read 5 or 6, 7, 8 books and probably go teach the motherfucking teacher how to be a manager. Quit relying on other people to dictate you what your skill set is going to be. That's the bottom line. Start taking responsibility, take control, become the guy who is the guy that everybody points at and says, that's the fucking guy. And guys, you take control of your life. Because if you don't take control of your life and you don't take control of your income, even if you're inside of another company, and I'm not talking about going and starting your own business, because that's not for everybody. That's only for 7% of the people, by statistic. 7% of the people are entrepreneurs. 93% of the people are people who work for other people. That means 93% of you. So I'm giving you the fucking tools to become valuable and high paid in your organization. Become a great leader, become a great manager, take it fucking serious, and you will be invaluable to wherever you are for the rest of your life. Quit putting it on anybody else. Quit looking for anybody to teach you. Quit asking for people to hold your fucking hand and take it fucking serious.